Okay, so how many tick marks did I draw? If you're looking at in between 55 and 60. You drew 1, 2, 3, 4 tick marks. Now we're going to count by ones to find 58 using the tick marks we made in the interval between 55 and 60. So we're at 55, and the next one would be 56. Which is a little bit easier to do on paper when you have more space. So I'm just going to kind of draw a line. This is 56. $57, $58, and $59. Okay. So how many fives did we count? Because we had to get all the way to 55. So we had to count by fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. So 11 times we had to count by fives. How many ones did we count by? Well, 58 is this third one here. So we had to count by ones. 1, 2, 3 times. So 11 fives plus 3. How can we write that as multiplication? Well, we counted by 11 5 times. So that's 11 groups of 5. Okay? That's our multiplication, 11 groups of 5. So if we were to solve that, that is 55, which we know because we counted by fives until 55, plus we have to add the 3 more. Okay? And 55 plus 3 is 58. And that's what we were trying to get to, is to 58 on the clock. Now this is going to be your turn to do it with me. So first, what I want you to do is I want you on your whiteboard to take a minute to write this number line, okay? Try to make it as big as you can. Make it go all the way across your whole whiteboard, because it makes it easier when we're drawing those little tick marks if your number line is really big. Once you have the number line drawn, make sure that you add in the numbers, the counting by 5 numbers. And when you're done with your number line, hold it up so I can mark you off as participating for today. Okay, so you should have that number line drawn. Here's our situation. I arrived at school this morning at 7:37 a.m. Let's find that time on our number line. First, we're going to label 7 a.m. above the 0 mark and 8 a.m. above the 60 mark. Okay, so 0 is going to be 7 a.m. and 60 is 8 a.m. Make sure your number line says that as well. How many 5s do we have to count by? So we need to get to 737. So let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We're going to stop there because if we get to 40, we've gone too far. We'll have passed 37. So now let's make our tick marks. And we always need 4 tick marks in between because the 5th tick mark is already there. That's the 40. So how many times did we count by 5s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And now let's get to 37. 35, 36, 37. So right here on this second tick mark is my point. I'll make it a different color so it's easier for you to see. So how many times did we have to count by 1s? Well, we're at 35, 36, 37. We had to count 2 times. So that's kind of like 7 5s, which is 7 times 5. Well, 7 times 5, if we put up 7 fingers and count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, equals 35. Which makes sense because that's where we ended here at 35. And then we had to count by 1s 2 times, so we take that 35 plus 2 equals 37. So that's how we got to 737 on the number line. So let's look at this clock template now. How is this clock similar to our number line? go ahead and I'll give you a minute to type an answer to me in the chat, the GoGuardian chat. How is this clock similar to our number line? If you're unsure, here's another question you could answer to me in the GoGuardian chat. What do the small tick marks represent on the clock? So go ahead and type the answer to one of those questions to me in the GoGuardian chat. Okay, so how is this clock similar to our number line? Well, up here at noon is like starting at 0 on the number line. And when you go all the way around the clock, okay, that would be 60 minutes. If you remember, our number line had 60 marks on it. So it's kind of the same because both of them have 60 marks, okay? And you can see too, our clock counts in intervals of 5, just like our number line does, okay? Well, what do the small tick marks represent on the clock? The small tick marks are the minutes. So each little tick mark is 1 minute. Okay, here's another example. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you're going to do one. This clock shows what time I woke up this morning. What time is it? So what we're going to do is we're going to start up here at the 12, and I'm going to count by 5s until I get to the minute hand, okay? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So I'm going to stop there. And now I need to get to this minute. So there's 1, 2, 3 of them. Okay. So I'm at 45, 46, 47, 48. And that's right where that minute hand is pointing. So my minutes are 48. Now the hour is a little bit easier, okay? Because for the hour, it's just whatever number it's after, okay? So right now, the hour hand is between the 5 and the 6, which means it's 5 o'clock, okay? It stays 5 o'clock until this hour hand passes the 6. So it'll stay 5 o'clock. Once this passes the 6 and it's pointing a little bit over here, then that means it's 6 o'clock. But if it's in this whole area right here, it is 5 o'clock. So what time did I wake up? The hour is 5 and the minute is 48. So 5:48. Okay. How many 5s did we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we counted by 5s 9 times, which makes sense because 9 times 5 equals 45, right? 9 fingers, count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. how many ones? So how many times did we count by ones? If you look, we counted 1, 2, 3 times. So we have 9 times 5, which equaled 45. Plus our 3 more ones, 45 plus 3, got us to 48, which was how many minutes it was. All right, now it's going to be your turn to do it with me. The clock shows what time I woke up on a Saturday morning. What time is it? So first, go ahead and write down on your whiteboard, what is the hour hand? What is this hour hand pointing to? Hold it up with your fingers. What is the hour hand pointing to? What number? 7, okay? As long as it's pointing somewhere between the 7 and the 8, it's always going to be 7 o'clock, okay? It stays 7 o'clock until it passes the 8. So it's 7 something. Now let's look at the minute hands. First, we're going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. Now it looks like it's pointing to this one right here. So now we got to count by 1s. We're at 15, 16, 17. It is 7:17. On your whiteboards, or actually just hold it up with your fingers. How many times did we count by 5s? 3 times, right? We counted 5, 10, 15. And then we stopped there. So we counted by 5s 3 times, which makes sense because our 3 times 5 equals 15. And then how many times did we count by 1s? Go ahead and hold that up with your fingers. 2 times, because we're at 15, and then 16, 17. And that makes sense because 15 plus 2 equals 17, which was our number of minutes. Okay, now we're in the part where you're going to be doing your homework alone. Your homework is an IXL skill where you're going to be matching clocks to the correct times. So you're going to have to count by 5s to figure out the minute and then count by 1s. Okay? Go ahead and begin.